Happy Friday. We have another opening the door for you guys, Commodore Nation. Trey, Redfield, one of the broadcasters for the Falmouth Commodores this year, joined by Sean Oldread, the director of broadcasting at Falmouth this year. And with us is Matt Levine, who was one of the Commodores broadcasters last season at Falmouth. Matt was at Maryland. He's wrapping up his senior year, so starting to do that job hunting. Matt, I hope all's well, man. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Trey. And Sean, good to see you again. Trey, good to see you for the first time. Happy to be back on the airwaves, on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube page, Twitter, everything. Always a pleasure.
It's so good to be back. I mean, you see the Falmouth shirt. It's like you're one of us. You know, it's the Wolf of Wall Street. One of us. But Matt, what was one of the biggest things that you remembered during your time at Falmouth? What would you say was your best memory with the Commodores?
People ask me that all the time outside of the Cape League, just, friends from school, my family. That's one of the hardest questions, I think, to answer. But just as a whole, I think the entire summer there was a memory every single day, whether it was waking up with a couple of the guys that we worked with, David and Tommy last year. I lived in the same room as them, like waking up every day, just seeing them, and then going to the ballpark together every single day. There was just some kind of camaraderie that we all had together, a community that we built, all of the interns, the players, coaching staff, intern staff, fans. Like, there was just so much going on every single day. And on top of that, I got to call 35 games, and I believe it was 46 days, which is my dream in life, is to just broadcast games. So when you put that all together, the friends and the community and everything, and then getting to do what you want to do in life, like I would never trade anything for the summer that I had last summer.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. We had a blast. I mean, everything from being at the ballpark every day with, you, David, you mentioned Tommy, to the camera guys, directors, everybody was incredible last summer. I don't think everybody who's involved can't speak highly enough about it. So, kind of staying on that track, how did you end up, on the Cape last summer? How did you end up being able to make all those memories?
So it started back in October of 2019, my sophomore year of college. And I knew that I didn't have an internship my freshman year summer. I just worked around my town back at home on Long Island, but I wanted to have an internship the summer before junior year. And I knew that I want to go into play-by-play. That's pretty much the path I want to take. So a couple of my friends actually both went to my high school. They're much older. Jake Eisenberg, he's now the AAA voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, which is the Kansas City Royals AAA affiliate. And then Josh White, another kid from my high school, a couple years older than me. He went to the University of Miami, got a job in pro ball that got canceled because of COVID, and now he's the Miami baseball SID. So just them working in baseball now, but they came through the Cape. And I saw Jake go to Chatham for a summer. I saw Josh go to Orleans for 2 summers. And that was kind of the path I knew. The Cape League, best league in the country. That's kind of the place I first applied. So just based on their guidance, everything, I ended up reaching out maybe 4 or 5 teams in that time of applying, and Falmouth was the first to come back to me, first to interview me, first to offer me it, and I took it, no hesitation. And then unfortunately that season ended up being canceled, but I was so lucky to be offered to come back for the season last summer, which was awesome. So would I have wanted to have 2 summers there? Absolutely, but I'll take the one that I had, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Falmouth is certainly a special spot, especially when you look at it in comparison to some of the other Cape towns. So do you have a favorite spot in Falmouth? Favorite spot, either restaurant, beach, that you like to attend last summer?
Oof. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember the names, honestly, from some of the beaches we went to, but just around the area, around where Gov Fuller Field is. I always liked, and this is generic, but not a particular Falmouth place, but it is in Falmouth, the Dairy Queen right across the street from the field. You can't go wrong with a good Dairy Queen. So going there at night with the friends and getting some ice cream during the summer, right after watching baseball, that's the best. But there's so many good places around. I really couldn't complain about anything that we did.
Man, one of those good places is the press box. We talk about it all the time. Sean and I were talking about it before you came on. Just it's one of the best. It's one of the best press boxes in the Cape, and everyone talks about it. It's so nice. But the Gov is getting a little bit of a renovation too. We've seen it on our social media pages, whether it's Instagram or Twitter. How excited should the Falmouth community be knowing they're getting that little boost in a newly renovated stadium?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, when I first got to the Cape and saw the fields, I was expecting, honestly, I was kind of underwhelmed. I was expecting these amazing facilities, and they're playing on high school fields for the most part, which is something that I didn't know going in. And when you see the best players in the country that are going to get drafted, and a lot of big leaguers are out there, or future big leaguers, and you see them playing on high school fields when they're coming from schools like Texas or whatever, top 25 schools where they have crazy facilities. It's just an insane adjustment to then watch them play on a field like that. But to have renovations to any field is tremendous. We got it in the press box before last summer, and everything, once we ironed out everything working, it was phenomenal, smooth sailing. So I can only be so excited about how this field is going to look. I know that this might be a rumor, but eventually they might be looking into raising some money for a turf field, for the Gov to be the first turf field. I don't know if they're doing that yet, but if they ever get to that point, that would be tremendous, because these guys come from such high profile universities and teams where they're working with the best facilities in the country. And then to come to the Cape and have something similar to that is pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what the renovations are like.
Yeah, certainly. I know everybody back in Falmouth is very excited to see what the Gov looks like, with the new renovations to the dugout and the field. So, Matt, kind of to wrap up here, but piece of advice for incoming interns, what would be one piece of advice you'd want to tell the incoming class of interns?
I'm not good at advice. I'm good at taking it, but not good at giving it. But I'll say the one thing is go into it as open-minded as you can, because I was so stuck on working with the same few friends at Maryland, calling games together for the first 3 years of college. And I'd never really experienced what it was like from someone from another school to come and call a game with me and then work with that same person every single day, or the same two people, when we had Joanne as a sideline reporter for a few weeks before she took her job. But to have a broadcast partner from Penn State and then a sideline reporter from Clemson, just as on-air talent and, working off the air, trying to iron out things together, I would say just be as open as possible to hearing what everybody has to say, and then trying to adjust yourself, maybe take something from them and get better yourself, because, you're coming from the same people all the time at school, and that's all I really knew. But then to come in and learn from others, I think once I was really open to learning from everybody else, that's when I enjoyed it the most.
June 12th cannot come soon enough. That's for sure. Sean Oldread and the former broadcaster of the Falmouth Commodores, I'm Trey Redfield. This has been episode 4 of Opening the Dore. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fal Commodores for all the updates you need on the Cape. Opening day is right around the corner, guys. If you blink, you may miss it. Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time, and hey, best of luck in the job search. It's kind of tough, to see the senior in college vibe, but best of luck, man. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, Trey. Thanks for having me, Sean, also. And one thing I will say is that if I am available over the summer, you guys will be seeing a lot of me to come up to Cape Cod from New York, and couldn't be more excited about that.
We love that, Matt. Appreciate it again. And roll doors.
Roll doors.